What AI can't do. Let's get that out of the way. So this is the agenda for this section. We want to talk about that it cannot read your mind. It's very important, and that it cannot digest big context. If you understand these two things, you will be very, very, very successful. This is the most important thing to understand. We will go in detail later. It cannot be your product manager. It cannot be your architect. It cannot QA itself. And also, it cannot make coherent decisions long term. We will see why. But these are the things that it cannot do for now yet, and probably later it might be able to do some of them, but for now it cannot. First and foremost, so this is the number one reason for the AI doesn't work, and like it's not working and so on. It cannot read your mind. I mean, autocomplete sometimes might surprise you, but it definitely cannot read your mind. Every time, in every new context, you need to explain in great detail what you want, give it examples, give it spec, give it documentation snippets, give it photos of design, everything you have. If you do the job right there, so if you not rely on mind reading, there won't be any problems. This is very, very, very important. The second most important thing that it cannot do, and that is actual limitation for all other things, it cannot digest big context. So like things that people tried, and they the first thing they try is like, oh, look at my whole system of like 1,000 files and fix this small thing. That doesn't work. Maybe sometimes it will work, it will get lucky or not, but you cannot rely on it. And this is the only actual limitations of the models currently. So intelligence is no longer a problem. Like it's at the level of a very intelligent human or even super intelligent human for most of the things, and especially coding, the use case that they are optimizing it for. And you will see later, basically everything we do is dancing around this fact that it cannot digest big context. And on paper, we see 100,000 tokens, 1 million tokens, and so on. In practice, that doesn't work. So, I mean, if you start pushing it to the limit, strange things start happening. It starts hallucinating. It starts forgetting stuff, and so on. And the interesting thing is, we have kind of solved the intelligence. If you ask me, it's solved, the intelligence part, but the context length part, so context on which we can apply that intelligence, is proving harder than the intelligence itself. So that means we humans are flash machines, still have a few more years of dominance on large context problems. And most of the problems that we are solving are kind of large context. So we still have some time to be the best in the world. And just to mention now, I will mention it again, this is why vibe coding doesn't work. Like if you want to build something useful, it kind of has to be complex. Simple things were already built. So you need something kind of complex. You need to handle, various aspects of the system, and to make good decisions, you need to handle them at the same time. Us humans can do that, but LLMs cannot do it yet. So again, if you don't know what you are building, the AI cannot help you. So you have to be your own product manager. You need to know what you're building, or there needs to be another product manager that's giving you clear spec. But this is the first step. And a lot of the times, like people are trying to build something that they don't understand, and no one can help them. Not even LLM, not humans, nobody. If you are being your own product manager, LLM can help you in being a good product manager. So you can ask it for advice, you can ask for opinions and stuff like that, but you cannot rely on it to make good decisions on the long run. Again, context size is the key limitation here. You constantly updating, like as a product manager, you need value risk, usability risk, feasibility risk, business risk, legal risk. So you need all those aspects of the product. You need to have them in your head and kind of update them all the time and work on them all the time at the same time. LLMs cannot do that. Very similar story with your software architecture. So you need to understand your requirements, your scale, your performance, your uptime, your databases, clustering, or partitioning, whatever. Like, you need to really, really understand that and set the structure right. Again, it can help you. You can ask it for advice. You can ask it for opinion. You can say, okay, what are the pros and cons of this approach? What are the pros and cons of that approach? I do that all the time. But in the end, you are the one that has to make a coherent decision on the long run. That's you. My pro tip here is like, I start monolith and then I slice as needed. So I have like one mono repo. I try to have less services than the people working on them, ideally one-on-one. So like, the size of one service is something that one person can handle and be entertained with, and that person is responsible end to end. There is slight risk, of that person leaving, but if you are working the project for yourself, then that risk is, not there. Or if you're in a small team, like, small chances that someone will leave. So that is definitely the most efficient and effective way to do it. What you should consider always when software engineering is that maintenance is 15% of what it took to build it. So if you are deploying to production, there are real users. If you built it, for 10 years, then you need to allocate 15% of that time to maintaining it. 10 man years, so you need 1.5 man years to maintain it per year. This maintenance, this is like the standard ratio, that we were taught in books, software engineering books. How will this change now? I don't know. Will it be more? I would guess yes, because the code is not written by us directly, but we will see. Maybe it will be able to maintain itself. So we will see, but there is some maintenance in your software that is needed. So again, the context is the biggest issue. If we learn how to work around it, we will have a great time. Here, you constantly have to keep reconsidering all the requirements all the time, and how does that fit into your architecture. So you're kind of the only one that can do it at this point. Another limitation of the context size is that it cannot QA itself. So you are the one that needs to keep the whole system in your head to make the tests coherent. You can use it to help you, and it can definitely help you writing QA tests, but don't do it like, hey, here is the code you wrote, write the tests for it. So it will just validate the code it wrote. Do it something differently. Here is the spec and desired behavior, write tests for that. Ideally in a separate project, don't let it see the code at all. And for integration tests, just give it schemas. For end-to-end tests, give it HTML or front-end and schemas if you want some manipulation in the database. But try not to give it the code, at least not the full code for that functionality. You can get good results, but again, it needs human supervision at this point. A quick recap. It cannot make coherent decisions long-term according to your big picture, understanding of the big picture. You are the long-term memory keeper. You are the large context keeper. Enjoy these last few years of your big context intelligence dominance. Even though it is very powerful, there are still some problems with it, and if you look at this example here, this really wouldn't end well. If you're a vibe coder, you would really, really have a bad time if AI did this to you. So watch out.